We begin tonight with new details of a little girl's survival, walking away from a plane crash that took the lives of her entire family. Here she is, 7-year-old Sailor Gutzler, showing that spunk that helped her climb out of the wreckage and find help. From the air today, that plane, just pieces scattered in the woods, underlining the miracle that her life was spared. ABC's Gio Benitez is at the scene and starts us off tonight. Gio.
Tom, good evening to you. Tonight, crews have brought out that plane piece by piece here as we learn more about that incredible survival story. Tonight, images from above as NTSB investigators comb through the plane's wreckage. A little second grader surviving, courageously trekking 3/4 of a mile through these woods at night. 7-year-old Sailor Gutzler, at one point trying but failing to light a stick that would guide her way, hoping to get help for her parents, 9-year-old sister and 14-year-old cousin, who were all killed in the crash.
She obviously wanted us to find her family. She did tell us that she feared that they were dead. But she was hopeful that they were only sleeping.
We now know the plane took off from Key West, Florida Friday night. Dad in the pilot seat taking the family home to Illinois. Just before 6, he reported engine problems, losing contact with air traffic controllers. The plane crashing down, landing upside down. Sailor suffering a broken wrist, using her uninjured arm to climb out, emerging from the plane into complete darkness, 38 degrees and misting, wearing shorts, a t-shirt, and just one sock. From the air, we see her journey. Flying over this area, you could see lots of hills, you can see creeks. In fact, we're told that she actually had to work her way through a 12-foot creek bed. Ending up at this house, Larry Wilkins answering the door.
He thought our arm was broke and her left foot was hurting pretty bad.
Her survival against all odds.
The seating in this aircraft is 2, 2, 2, and 1. So if she was in the very back of the airplane, the impact of the aircraft cushioned the blow and could have allowed her to survive.
What a nation calls a miracle, bringing a lieutenant who's seen it all to tears.
To see this little girl walk out of there and survive that crash.
Just absolutely amazing. Very, very much so. I've got an 8-year-old little girl. I can't imagine her going through what this little girl went through.
I think a lot of parents in America are thinking that.
Absolutely. Hug your daughters and sons.
And so right now, that big question, what exactly brought down that plane? Investigators will try to find out by examining that wreckage for days, Tom.
Gio, thank you. And tonight we're learning more about the little girl's future. We just heard the details of how she survived the impossible and now has to face life without her parents. So who is caring for the 7-year-old and what's next? Here's ABC's Gloria Riviera.
In this small town community, the loss of the Gutzler family touches almost everyone as they come together in support of a very brave little girl.
I know that there are absolutely no words to explain why this would have happened. Please keep a Sailor in your prayers as well.
Members of the family's church describe them as full of warmth, their home always open to family and friends, now bereft.
It's a community tragedy and one we're going to have to battle through to overcome.
Sailor's father, Marty Gutzler, well known to be an experienced pilot, an instructor, the family often flying together. Their pastor telling ABC News that may be what saved 7-year-old Sailor.
Her father gave her the survival skills and taught them what to do if a plane went down.
Sailor now joining a very small group of sole survivors, like Austin Hatch, who lost his family in 2 separate crashes, stunningly walking away both times.
I think God had his hand on me, and I think there's a plan for my life.
It's believed family members are now caring for Sailor, whose resilience saved her and will be key in her recovery.
What is this little girl facing right now? Well, it's overwhelming to her, and at this moment I would expect her to be in shock. I think the fact that she's young will actually help her to recover, because if she's given the right support, she will be able to move ahead and have a life that will be happy.
Experts say there is a lesson in this sad story to teach your children emergency planning. Tom, even kids around Sailor's age or younger, and she's just 7, experts say can learn how to save their own lives.